Hi everybody. I hope I'm doing this right. I am supposed to be showing you guys how to do a pop-up at home. So hopefully I am doing it right. I didn't know if I was supposed to have a link or something that y'all can click. So I'm not quite sure. But I thought I would hop on right here and wait for some of you to join. Like I said, hopefully I did it right. I'm Rochelle. Hi. Okay. Did I do it right, Heather? I don't know if there was a link or something I was supposed to do. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Heather's going to get people over to the live because I didn't know if I was supposed to do like a link or something like that. So, yes. So my name is Rochelle. I am located in Davenport, Florida, which is like 20 minutes from Disney. So I'm right by Disney. We hear the fireworks at night when they start, which actually they just started back up again July 1st. So we're super excited that that is back up and going. We are huge Disney fans over here. And we're glad that all that stuff is back opening. So so we are getting ready actually tonight, right now, for a pop-up at our house. And currently, thank you to Hurricane Elsa that is on the way. It says people want to, okay. Hurricane Elsa is on the way, and she's already bringing us tons of rain. So we had to move our pop-up from what we usually do is have our pop-up outside, and I'll show you a little bit outside here. It just got done raining and it's about to rain again. But typically we have our pop-up here in our driveway. We will put up our we will put up our big tent that we usually have at markets and things, and we set it all up. But today we are actually going to be doing it from inside the house because the rain and the heat and the humidity that is from the rain is not welcome. As you can see, the sky behind me is it's not very happy today. We've had very, very good luck with pop-ups. So this is the first time that we've had to have it inside. We would typically maybe do it in the garage, but it's kind of messy. Nobody wants to see that. So we're going to be doing it inside today. Jenny, how do I get hubby on board? He thinks I'm crazy for inviting strangers to our house. So my husband actually helps me with everything I do. He helps me with baking. He helps me with labeling. He helps me with bagging everything up. He goes to shows with me. He's running our pop-up with me tonight. He helps me with everything so that I can take on some more orders. But we were a little apprehensive too, first having people at the house for pop-ups, but we figured people are already coming to the house for pickups. So we didn't think it would be that big of a deal. Plus, in Florida, under our cottage law, we have to have our address labeled on everything. So it's not a super big secret where we live. We typically do not have them inside, but luckily our house is set up in a way that we have like an entrance dining area that is kind of sort of separate from the rest of the house. So it's a little bit easier for us to do a pop-up this way. Thank goodness, because of the rain and everything right now. Do you rent him? I don't know. I mean, he's got a full-time job and then he does this with me. So this is him. This is my husband, Andy.
If you give me Taco Bell, I'm in.
He works for Taco Bell. No. So yeah, so we're lucky that we're going to be able to put it inside today, and hopefully we will still do it okay. We got this big sandwich board not that long ago. Oh, someone's saying hi to you. Hi. So we have this big sandwich board. She said you're cute too. Oh, I better look out. That we're going to be putting outside, and a lot of our regulars, they've already been here to pick up stuff, so they know where we are. So we're gonna put that outside so everybody can see. But I will go ahead and get started and show you guys a little bit about how I set up for a pop-up. And just give a little bit like kind of tips, things that we've learned along the way that we've done. We've been doing markets for about 2 years now. I got my sandwich board at a local sign making place. I know you can get these big boards like this on Amazon. And then if you contact someone like local in your area to get it customized, yeah, the insert comes out and it's all completely weatherproof as well. So like if it rains, yeah, you can fill the plugs, you can fill it with sand so it doesn't fall over. So how many followers did you have before you had a pop-up? We only had like a couple hundred maybe. Our first pop-up actually was 4th of July last year. No, was it last year? 2 years ago. I can't think. Oh my God. Quarantine has like screwed up everybody's brain. I don't know what day it is half the time. Yes, they are not cheap. I think this one was around $200.
Which included the insert.
It also included the insert. I'll show them for anybody else that's just joining. Yeah, it's two sides, double-sided. So when we have markets, we can set it outside the tent. Today we're going to set it outside the house because, like I said, it's raining crazy on and off here in Florida. So unfortunately, we have to do the market inside, but that's okay. We're set up for it. So this is the area that we're working with here. This has turned into my packaging area here. So we're not fancy enough to have a sitting area. And then that's my dining room table. And then the rest of our house is around the corner there. So it's a little bit separated. So, you know, we feel okay with having some people pop in and out. Like I said, it's a lot of regulars that are coming. So yeah, but let me show you how I typically set up my table. Now my table is not usually this big. It's usually just my 6-foot folding table. But let me show you how I set it up. Oh, you want to do that? Oh, thank you. He's my videographer. He thinks he's fancy. So our kind of, I guess, color scheme is like a minty green, like what's on our sign, and like white and silver. We try to keep everything pretty cohesive and clean colored, little pops of color, but to really let all of our product speak for itself rather than having a lot of different things on the table. The majority of these items I got at Ross, TJ Maxx,
Herbie Lurby.
Yes, Herbie Lurby. Or Hobby Lobby, if you've not seen that TikTok. If you haven't seen that TikTok, you need to find it. What else? Michael's. That's pretty much it. But so I usually set it up that I have some height and different things. I usually actually set it up almost the same way every time. Because then I know where everything goes, and if my husband's not there to help me, then my best friend is there to help me, so she knows where everything goes to. So it's nice to just be able to like put it out and set it up, and then start putting your product on it so that you can make sure it's in a spot where you want it to be. We already have some product on the table, so I'll just do this already. Some of the cookies that we're selling tonight. These little wooden crates, This one's usually glued together. They were just, I got these at Michael's. I know that for sure. I painted them to match our theme and our aesthetic, and I added glitter on them. My business name is Pixie Dust Cookies, and I try to put edible glitter on everything I can.
Somebody asked about cookie classes in this space.
Yeah, so we actually, in this whole space here, I've had 17 people in this space right here for a cookie class. So we used this table, and then I had some folding tables in here as well. And it wasn't, I see these have been in the garage for a little bit. And it wasn't tight in here at all. Everybody had some room to move around. I usually stand against this wall and I teach out this way, so I can show everyone. The latest space that I've done like cookie classes, they have like a, what's that cord called? To put into my phone.
Like an HDMI. Yes,
an HDMI. So a lot of places I've been starting to teach at have TVs. So I can put an HDMI into my phone, put my phone on my Arkin mount, and then it projects onto the TVs, and it's the most amazing thing. So if you're looking into doing cookie classes, if they have the capability to have a TV or something like that, you want to try to see if you can get an HDMI cord so that you can, let me just move my stuff out of the way. I'll just put it over here. Get an HDMI cord so that you can project onto their TVs, because it's like a game changer. So usually my stuff's not as spread out, but like I said, we're doing it inside, so we're improvising here. Oops. If that wants to stay, maybe. Okay. Take it back over. So this is how I typically set up my table when I have my shows and stuff. So I've got like my lower stuff here. I've got some height. Everything kind of is the same color scheme. Oh, I forgot to turn my candles on. That's the best part. I've got fake little candles in there. It just adds a nice little touch to the table. Typically my tablecloth is white, which has like a little glittery overlay on it. It's very subtle. But I'll set up the table like this. I have 2 of these ladders that I got those at Hobby Lobby as well.
I think you need
and
Herbie.
Yes, Herbie Lurby. And I love these. They're extremely light. They fold up. They're a little bit flimsy. You have to get new bolts for inside these, or you have to keep tightening them all the time. But these ladders are great. I'll even use these ladders for my porch pickups as well. When I'm having a lot of people doing pickups, or if I just sometimes we just don't want to deal with customers and they just get your stuff. So I use that for my porch pickups a lot of time. How do you deal with neighborhood kids running over and looking or touching without parents? We haven't had that yet. Most often all the kids come with their parents, or they're a little bit older so that they've got money on their own and they're going to buy what they want. But yeah, thankfully we haven't run into that yet. And then this, you want to move that tray for me? This is our little checkout stand. So my husband built this checkout stand for us so that we don't have to have an extra, like we're fumbling with cards or things like that. But here's our checkout stand. And there's shelves underneath. So when we set up everything, so here's our point of sale. You put everything up there and I'll just do it this way. So typically when it's all set up, then what doesn't this husband do? He could be better at, like doing laundry or something, but so yeah, we put our iPad on here. And there's our checkout. We've got
Shopify point of sale.
yes, we use Shopify, which also has the tap to pay, which people are loving.
Links to our website for customer insights, emails, direct marketing.
Yep. We also have our hand sanitizer. And I have the cutest business card holder ever. It's a little mixer. So that's typically what we have up on our point of sale up here is, yeah, keep shopping bags on the shelves so everybody can set all their stuff down. And typically when we have our markets too, we like to try to make it a flow. So like, you know, you're walking in here, you're getting what you need, you're looking, all that kind of stuff. And then you go to the checkout and you exit. So we try to make it very like user friendly. Yes, we stay home for our pop-ups. We stay outside the whole time with our pop-ups and, you know, our checkout stand and everything. We also have a cash box if somebody wants to pay cash. Yeah, turntable. I got it at, I think, Walmart or Target. So if anybody said they still have to sign, they can sign. And I think, where did we get, I think we got this on Amazon. Yeah.
It's just a generic iPad holder.
Yep. So, and it just, you know, it can come right off. But yeah, and we use Shopify, and Shopify takes every kind of payment. I mean, they take they take Apple Pay, they take cards, they take PayPal, they tap. I think Apple Watch, it takes that. So we get a lot of card payments versus cash. So that's a question and then lost it.
About Shopify.
Oh, who helped you learn all the Shopify and linking to the website? I'm so lost all of that. We kind of learned it on our own, but then we also emailed the support, the customer support, and they're really great with helping find whatever you need, any questions you have. They're really great at helping to do that. My hair's crazy today.
Yeah,
this is the Florida hair. This is.
They linked our domain name because we
purchased
pixiedustcookies.com. They helped with all the different forms of payment, setting up the actual website, the theming. Very, very user-friendly, mostly drag and drop. They have preloaded themes. We pay, I think it's $29 a month for the maintenance fee. To us, it's more than worth it because it tracks inventory for us. We have one centralized system for payment processing. If you can charge tax, you can create tax statements quarterly. Essentially, any type of insights that you want, you can get from the website. So for us, that $29 was well worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with holidays coming up, October, November, December, it gets crazy. And if hot cocoa bomb season is anything like it was last year, whew, I'll be so thankful for that website. Target has cute dollar table I can't talk. Target has cute turntables in their dollar section right now. I did not know that. So if anybody needs one, head over to Target.
Please don't encourage her to go to Target.
They didn't hear that. How much cash would you recommend having on hand for change? So we have tons of change, and then on cash, we typically keep about 200 in the till. And if anything, ones. Lots of ones and fives. Our very first market, we ran out. Like I was running around to different stores. I'm like, can I give you like all these 20s for some ones and fives? Because there was nothing. It was crazy. Another thing I do with my pop-ups too is I create an event page on my Facebook page. And I post in there, I'll post pictures, I'll like progress stuff. It's like, hey, this is what's coming up. This is what's going to happen. This is what's going to be here. Because it still keeps people engaged and reminds them like, hey, they're having a pop-up event. I should probably go. So I'm going to put some product out now. And show you how I kind of set it up with all of our pricing and everything. Yes, the event pages have been crazy for us because even if we go to farmers markets, I create an event page on our Facebook page. And we had one market, that it kept getting shared, like our specific event page for our page for that event, if that makes sense. It kept getting shared and shared and shared and shared. And at one point, I think it said we had like 6,000 people coming to the farmers market. And people then kind of start thinking it was our event. But I was like, nope, I just made an event page to tell my people like, hey, I'm going to be here. But the event page, they reach a lot of people, especially if it's set to public. So let me show you how I set up all of my stuff over here, and then you can read the questions if I missed them. Gotta move this guy again.
You can put it on the checkout stand.
No, I can't. I'll keep it right here.
How do you decide how much and how many varieties to make? It's a great question.
That I get carried away with designs. So I end up making a lot of different things. And that's not Wednesday today, is it?
For the farmers markets, what we do is reach out to the organizers and try to determine what the foot traffic was for previous events that were similar.
Yeah.
And we've found that as a kind of a general rule of thumb that we're going to have the opportunity to sell to about 10% of the foot traffic. That seems to work well for us. So for last holiday, the big holiday event we did last year, they were anticipating 10,000 guests. So we accommodated for 1,000 purchases essentially. And it worked out pretty well. We always try to get to the point where we're selling out towards the end of the event, create that FOMO for the people that didn't make it or didn't get there early. And then what we do after the events too is continue to post to our Facebook page about inventory left and offer them for pickups as well to continue the opportunity to sell.
Another thing is I don't, like if we don't sell out today, I would discount to try to get rid of it for tomorrow or for Sunday. I'll just keep selling it and I keep posting pictures and saying, hey, I've got, 3 stars and stripes left and 2 snow cones. And I try to keep updating the quantity of what I have for each item. So that people are like, oh yeah, I really wanted that. I shall we contact them?
So how targeting people with the event page, we've found that if we're boosting the event with dollars, we find that paying for a 2 or a 3 day boosted event worked better.
Oh yeah. Not
really sure why, but we felt like we got much more engagement when we did a shorter boost on the post versus a week-long event. I think the last time we did just 24 hours. We had great engagement from that.
Right.
Another question was what sells best at the pop-up? Singles, box sets, minis, what's our best sellers?
The majority of the stuff I have is single cookies. Sometimes I have like sets together, like we have these are our 4th of July colored, but they're cotton candy flavor. It's a little bag of 4. I try to keep things singly. I've tried doing things that were like, 6 in a box, like a half a dozen set or something. And I think sometimes the price of it scares people. Whereas they can come up and buy a cookie for $3, $4, $5 each. But if they see, a half a dozen cookies and they're like, oh, $30 for cookies, whew, it's kind of scary. Mm-hmm. So I typically do things in singles. And I personally don't do like a buy one free or anything like that, because I know if I don't sell it right now, then I'll be able to sell it later on our Facebook page.
And somebody asked if you freeze things and how do you make everything? Do you make it all at once?
Yes. So I freeze, especially for Christmas. I will actually be starting Christmas very soon because we have some big markets coming up. So I put everything in their bag. It's heat sealed. And then it's like a little sticky label, not the label. What is that? The sticky bag thing.
The adhesive.
Adhesive. There we go. And then my cottage law requires everything to be individually labeled. So everything is individually labeled, unless it was like a DIY kit. That the box just has to be labeled. But so all of my items are individually labeled. Mm-hmm. And we froze a ton of cookies. It was 2019 because a lot of stuff was crazy.
Somebody asked about the heat with us with cookies and melting condensation.
Yeah. But well, freezing real quick. I put these, once they're done, they're dried, they're heat sealed, they're bagged, they go in airtight containers. I pop them in our big chest freezer in the garage. And then the night before an event, I pull out all the containers and let them thaw. I don't open them because if you open them, the condensation can start to ruin your royal. So I let them thaw, and by the morning, they're completely thawed and they're already in their airtight containers. And that's how I transport them to my shows, is in a bunch of airtight containers. So yeah, we froze a lot of Christmas cookies.
And even for this event, we're doing Christmas in July in 3 weeks. So if we don't have something that sells today, we have another chance to sell by freezing today.
Plus, we're lucky because we're in Florida, and why would Santa not wear shorts if he's delivering presents in Florida? I mean, so, and then what was the other question, Dave?
About the heat with, have we had any inventory loss?
The heat really affects, obviously, our chocolate covered stuff. With the Royal, I haven't noticed as much. There's a little bit, it's very humid here today. So if you can see on here, there's a little bit of it sticking to the bag because of the humidity. These cookies are 100% completely dry, but there I can fix it and it's not sticking to the bag anymore.
But
outside, sometimes they'll stick to the bag a little bit. We did find in our very first market, direct sunlight on your cookies it's bad. It creates a ton of condensation inside the bag and everything will start to sweat. So
if you do a farmer's market or another event, reach out just for the simple layout, north, south, east, west, and just understand the sun throughout the day so you can start to think about that setup before you even get there.
Yeah, and you can also ask the event coordinator as well. Say, hey, I know the sun is coming up on this side. I'm going to have my back to the sun. Can you put me in a spot that I'm not going to get direct sunlight? Also, when we do our events outside, we have the panels on our tent. We use all 3 panels. The only side that's open is the front. Because we're not getting any indirect sunlight in. It doesn't get super hot in the tent at all. I haven't noticed the heat at all affecting anything. It's the humidity that really does not agree with some of the stuff. Like I said, the chocolate stuff melts. Like you look at it sideways in Florida and it melts. What else did we have that was kind of like, maybe?
We do chocolate covered items. We lost some inventory early on with some events we did because of the heat where the chocolate just simply melted.
Yeah. We were like, we're good. And then we look over and we're like, we're not good. So if you are in a place, then you could keep that stuff in a cooler. I probably would be okay with not keeping any of my cookies in a cooler or anything like that, especially you don't want to put them in any type of a refrigeration because that can create condensation on the inside of your bags. So I would keep them out of the refrigerator or the cooler if you can.
Go through like the variety of what we have.
Yeah, you want to put some stuff up and then they probably won't look at me anymore. Yes, the sun, it's crazy. I mean, we looked at it once and then we looked back again about 5 minutes later and the same thing. We were like, oh my gosh, all this stuff is sweating. So our pop-ups are usually about 3 hours is what we do. And we stay outside. If we're getting still some foot traffic or if we're getting any messages, then we will stay open a little bit longer, or we'll message that person back like, hey, what did you want? We'll set it aside for you because we're packing up. You can come and get it. So, yeah. So, okay. So Andy's just putting out some more of our products so you guys can see what we're having for our pop-up today. Let's see, buttercream. Yeah, buttercream is, you could possibly keep your buttercream in your, what are you doing?
How much is dropped one?
I'm pretty sure they saw that. So we got to get the tops for those. Those are the tops.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, my husband distracted me. Buttercream, I would probably keep that in a cooler for sure. You can always put out like a menu. I just have this. This is to ask about cookie classes, which we get asked a lot about at the shows. So that's why I try to advertise it. But you could also put out a menu that says like, hey, we also have this and this and this. Or when people walk in, you can tell them like, hey, just so you know, we also have this. If it's not out because of the heat and things like that. That's why in Florida, we are a little bit limited that we can't have certain items because we just know for sure 100% it's going to melt and make a mess. So what about cake pops? Cake pops, I would definitely probably keep those in a cooler. I attempted cake pops about twice. They are the bane of my existence, so I do not do them anymore. But I would definitely keep those probably in a cooler because that chocolate is going to melt like crazy. Yes, Christy, sometimes I do take pre-orders for pop-ups. I did, you can grab the tray, the one that's for Anna. It's in the cookie room. Yeah, I have a cookie room. It's supposed to be our spare bedroom for when people come to visit, but I have too much stuff. I need a whole entire room. So I did take some pre-orders because I actually only started doing all the decorating on Monday, I think it was. So we did all of this between Monday and today. So the only thing I did take a pre-order for, it's on my shelf right behind my chair. He's grabbing the item that we took pre-orders for because I knew it was going to take me longer. But around like holidays and stuff, I won't take pre-orders because it's like I've got pre-orders and I'm prepping for the shows. And if I have any customs, it's a lot. This is the only item that we did take a pre-order for. And it's our veggie tray cookie tray. So, because I knew that was going to take me a little bit longer. So that's the only item we did take a pre-order for. Sometimes for markets we will too. And then or somebody says, hey, I saw you were going to have this cookie or whatever. Can I get 6 of them? And I'll have them pay for it. And then I'll just set it aside for them at the market and they'll pick it up at the market. How many designs do you make for single cookies? So again, that's my downfall. I'm always like, okay, this is good. And then I'll come across a picture and I'm like, this is so cute. I'm going to do this too. Or, oh, I had an idea for this. I end up with a lot of designs, or there's some designs that I'm like, it didn't transfer well. Like I saw it in my head, but it didn't transfer well to the cookie that I was super happy with it. So I might only have like 2 of those. I try to do a decent variety of designs. I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've got 12 or 13, I think, here for 4th of July for just the cookies. And then we've added in other items. So, yeah. Oh, Marie, that's a great idea for dippers, to use a strawberry dipping sauce or caramel dipping sauce rather than buttercream because it doesn't have to be refrigerated. That's a super great idea. Do you only do pop-ups around holidays? I typically do pop-ups around holidays. It just seems like every month there's a holiday. So February, we've got It goes Valentine's Day, then St. Patrick's Day, and then Easter, and then Mother's Day, and then end of school. And so it almost kind of seems like there's a holiday every month. So I do try to do that. I have been putting in, what was the one that we did? I don't remember which one it was. It might have been Valentine's Day. That I was just like, okay, I'm sick of seeing red and white and pink and purple. So I made completely random cookies. I think I had some sunflowers and I had some rainbows and just some super cute stuff that I had seen on, Instagram and TikTok and Facebook that I'm like, oh, these are so cute, but I have no time. And then I'm like, wait, I do have time because I can make whatever I want at pop-up. It doesn't have to fit the theme. So I try to stick to the holiday theme, but then sometimes I'll throw in some random stuff in there as well. Do you feel like you make more money with pop-ups around holidays opposed? Yes, Stephanie. She said, do I make more money with pop-ups around holidays opposed to custom orders? Yes. So much yes. I have a pretty big client base and I do a lot of custom orders, but we are starting to get away from the custom orders a little bit so that I have more time to do the pop-ups and farmers markets. Plus it also gives me creative freedom because I get in those lulls, which I'm sure we all do as doing cookies or cakes or anything like that. I get in this lull where I'm like, I am just so burnt out. I do not want to do another dinosaur or another unicorn. So we're starting to get away from customs so that we can do more holiday and farmers markets and then just do whatever we want. It's also less stress for me, I think, as well, because then I'm not really in a deadline. Whereas sometimes, as I'm sure we all have been there, we're up till 4 a.m. doing a set that's getting picked up tomorrow at 9 a.m. Whereas if I'm not doing as many customs and I'm working on my own timeline and time frame, I can just go, it's 11:30. I want to go to bed. Okay, I'll go to bed. I don't have to stay up till 4 a.m. I don't want to. Do you do fewer designs, more quantities, or more designs, fewer of each design? Like I said, it depends. Sometimes I get sick of doing, like I kind of, as cute as they are, I got sick of doing the snow cones. So I was like, okay, that's no snow cone. I'm over it. Let's pick something else. Let's do something else with that. So yeah, I do sometimes get sick of the designs and I'm just like, okay, I only had 10 of those, whatever, it's fine. If they sell, they sell. Just reading through questions. Is there a holiday that stands out more than others? Christmas. 100% Christmas. We even have markets that are in the middle of November. And I'm like, oh, I can do all these cute, fun Thanksgiving and fall things I've seen. Nope. Even in the middle of November, everybody wants Christmas. So I would say for me, it's Christmas, which is funny because we live in Florida and it's hot. Candace, I have not done any wedding fairs yet. I don't know how it would work out because a lot of brides aren't coming there to shop and buy items. They're there to see and sample. So I don't know. We haven't done one yet, so I'm not sure. Everybody else can weigh in on that, but I'm not sure. So I'm gonna flip it around here and show you a little bit of what we've got done. So we're starting to fill it all up here now. And I also, here's my pricing thing. So the ladder, I got these at Michael's. It's just a chalkboard with a little clip on the back so that I can put it where I want it. I can label each what it is, also put the pricing on it. And then these little ones, these metal ones, same thing, got these at Michael's in a pack of like 15 or 20 or something like that. And I set them in front of the cookies here, or I'll set them on top here. If I have different flavors, that will go with it as well. Yeah. So that's pretty much our setup. So if you just popped on, here is our checkout stand, our point of sale that we have. So I'll put my bags down there. Usually my purse, my drinks, whatever, go down there to hide. My husband's breaking my cookies, I think. So we'll have our iPad here. We can do our checking out. You pay there, all that fun stuff. And it's on a turntable, little lazy Susan swivel table. And then our ladder, and then our setup and everything will have a sign in front of it with the pricing on it. So that's typically how we do a setup. Like I said, it's a little bit different today because we're inside, because Hurricane Elsa is on her way and she's giving us some early rain. So yeah, so we had to roll with the punches here. Most of my cookies, yes, are all the same price, except for like these ones. Oh, that's my face. That's not the cookies. These ones are pretty big. They're about almost the size of my hand. And these ones are flavored. So there's like, it's a popular cookie at Disney Springs right now by Walt Disney World. That it's a pineapple cookie. So we actually put pineapple in the dough and it's flavored with pineapple. So we were that was our inspiration for that. We did build the stand. My husband built it. I found the stand randomly on Pinterest and I was like, I wonder if he could do this. He's not very handy.
Liar.
But he did it. He built it. So it also folds up too, as well. So you take the shelves out, and then this side and this side, they fold in. So there's little hinges there, and the top also can fold down as well.
Easy transport. Yeah,
so it's super easy transport. It's a little bit heavy. So if you have someone that's helping you at a show, it's a little bit easier. But that we get compliments on that all the time. I absolutely love that. It's one of my favorite things is my checkout stand. How do you tell someone that you don't do custom and still sell enough? We haven't gotten there yet because I have a hard time saying no. So, so people will ask like, oh, can you do this? Can you do this? I'm like, yeah, I don't have time to do that, but I do it. So I have a really hard time saying no. I wasn't supposed to take any orders. I wasn't going to take any last month, any custom orders, because I needed a little bit of a break. Kids are home from school. And I think I had like 30 custom orders. So that didn't go well. But we're going to get there. We're slowly just not booking them. We're, letting them know like at this time I'm not taking customs right now. But we will be having pop-ups. So that's how we're handling it that way. Any advice on what electrical needs to ask for when doing markets? Yes, Candace. So I know with some event coordinators, they will, like on the form when you fill it out, it will say like to check if you need electricity or not. There's like a box usually or notes you can add that says, hey, I need electricity. If not, then I would reach out to the event coordinator that you're going to be using with, and just let them know like, hey, I need to be in a spot where I can, run an extension cord or something. Do you have a break it, you buy it sign? No.
The broken bin was a huge.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We don't have that sign because we've done quite a few markets. We've only had one time where a child accidentally grabbed something and it knocked a bunch of them over. Surprisingly, our cookies are pretty sturdy. Only one broke. The mom was not happy about it, but I was like, it's okay, it's fine. But she bought the broken cookie. It wasn't a huge deal, but I thought we would have a lot more broken ones, like you said, like you break it, you buy it, because a lot of kids at markets. But
we break more in handling getting it to the event.
yes, than we do with kids running up. Because usually they go to grab it and the mom is like, no, 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 don't touch it. Or the dad, grandma, or something. So we've been pretty lucky with that. We did have a bin at one of our shows that they didn't travel well. It was kind of a fragile shape, and we had a bin out that said, "I'm broken," and we discounted those, and that was the first thing we sold out of, was the broken cookies. Or nobody cared.
Mix your pricing up if you can to have some lower priced quick items for the littles. The parents that come and they want the $1 or $2 item, those typically sell out the quickest for us.
Yeah. Or if they're some of those people that you feel like, I'm already in their tent, I should probably buy something. Then they buy something that's $1.50 or $1 or $2. So how much is each cookie packaged? Our cookies range from $3.50 to $5. So it just depends on which one. The majority of all of these are of our decorated, yes. Our decorated cookies are all $3.50, except for these big ones are $4. That seems to be our sweet spot for pricing. Marie, what's in the parfait cups? It's our edible cookie dough. And it is so good, and I hope I sell out of it because I do not need it in the house. We've got chocolate chip cookies and cream unicorn. We have peanut butter. I think we did a Grinch one.
Monster mix.
Monster mix. It was blue with chocolate chip cookies in it. Our cookie dough is like flying off the shelves.
That's a great one for shows too.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be chilled. It can be at room temperature, but I like it chilled. He likes it at room temperature. So to each your own. But Letitia, yes, actually, July 1st, we just got our cottage laws in Florida were updated. We can ship nationwide now. So it's super exciting because we have lots of people that are back home. We're originally from Michigan. We've been in Florida for 10 years now, but we have lots of people back home that want our cookies. So, but yes, now we can ship. So if you go to our website, it's pixiedustcookies.com. You can order right on there. I don't know if we got the pineapple ones up there yet, but we'll get those up by tonight. Krista, yes, he's decently handy.
Oh, I thought you were going to say handsome.
Maybe. You're more handy than handsome then.
Yeah. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Do you make enough to replace an income? For me, yes. We've been in business since 2017. So it didn't really pick up until 2019, where we saw, like, I was making a livable wage in income. So we have 2 kids. So our son is Handy Andy. Yeah. Our son is 14. And he has severe autism. He's also nonverbal and he has epilepsy. So he's 14, but he's basically like 2. So I never really worked a quote unquote real job because I needed to be basically at his beck and call. If the school called and said, hey, you got to come get him, I had to go immediately drop what I was doing to go get him. So we're really lucky that this has gotten to the point that it is, so that I can make an income for our family and still, like, still kind of work, but then still be there when I need him. Because my husband works a corporate job, but he also travels as well for that. So on top of that, he helps me. But we're really lucky that we can, and now at this point, we can do that. So Do you give any large discounts if someone wants to come out to buy 30? We don't, because personally, it still took the same amount of ingredients and time and effort and late nights to make every single cookie. So we don't give large discounts on cookies. That's my personal thing. Yeah, broken cookies. They're so sad when it happens.
They still taste
good. They do. They do still taste good. When you do custom, what's your price per dozen? So my price per dozen right now, they start at $45 per dozen. And my cookies at shows are just a tiny bit cheaper than that. So I think they're 25 cents cheaper. Yeah, they're 25 cents cheaper, because if somebody's coming for birthday, if they come and they look at this, they're going to go, there's no birthday here. Nope. You're going to have to pay for birthday, because this is what I made. So yeah, so I charge a tiny bit. Yes, Krista, it's, there's no egg in it or anything. So it's completely shelf stable and does not have to be refrigerated. Sorry, I'm just reading through some questions really quick. You're welcome, Samantha. Thank you. I'm so glad everybody joined to watch. I really appreciate it. How far away do you go to sell? So in Florida, everything is spread out everywhere. It takes forever to get everything any place because of traffic. But we have gone as far as 45 minutes away. So, I mean, if someplace is willing to have us, we're willing to travel, basically. Actually, I lied. I should say I did a pop-up in Michigan. I baked a whole bunch of cookies. I took pre-orders. I took an entire suitcase full of decorated cookies and went to Michigan, and because they were already pre-ordered, so I brought them all up there, and then my sister and I made about 150 hot cocoa bombs that were ordered as well. So yeah, so here, I'll show you guys one more time, and then I'm gonna have to sign off because my pop-up is starting in just a few minutes here. So this is my setup, pretty much all set. I just gotta put my pricing tags up, and here's my checkout stand and our big market sign that will go outside in about 2 minutes. So if you'd like to, we've got Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. It's Pixie Dust Cookies. So thank you all so much for joining. I really appreciate it, and I had a lot of fun. So hope you guys have a wonderful holiday weekend. See ya.